One of the things I dread about going off-road is airing down. Not because of the airing down part, but because it means I'll have to air back up. And how will I do that? Maybe I'll find a gas station with a compressor and maybe it will work. Maybe whatever park or trail system I'm at will have a compressor, and maybe it'll work, or maybe it won't. Or I could drag out the small portable compressor that clips onto the battery and spend a good 20 minutes getting all my tires back up to road pressures. Or maybe none of that'll work if it's raining, say, and I can't use the portable compressor, and then I'll have to drive at highway speeds on 16 psi until I find somewhere. Well, now I've fixed that. What is this right down here? That's an air compressor button. What's it doing? It's filling up an air tank. Here we are in the trunk with a tire inflator ready to hook up to a compressor. But we're not going to hook it up to the compressor. Remember, we're going to hook it up to an air tank. The beauty of this is that you can do it one-handed. So on the bumper there is the backup sensor, and right underneath is a little cover. All you got to do is take your air hose, reach up underneath that cover. You'll feel the connector and boom. Now, ready to fill some tires. Taking a look at that connector from the inside the bumper, notice it's nice tucked up underneath the bumper. Not going to get caught on anything. Just pop off the cover. There's your connector. Grab your air hose. In it goes. Pulling back a little bit, you can see the connector. The air tank is mounted right behind the charcoal canister, still up inside the bumper, and it gets its air through a little grommet over there inside the cab. And that thing off the side, that is a safety overpressure valve. It's set to 175 psi, which is 25 below what the tank is rated for, and if you want, you can give it a little pull, and it'll let some air out. Disconnecting can be done one-handed too, although it's difficult when the tank is at full pressure. Here I've dropped the tank to 50 psi to demonstrate. All you have to do is run your hand up the air hose until your thumb feels the quick disconnect, although it is very near the exhaust, so you really ought to come in from the driver's side. Just run your thumb up the air hose until you feel the quick disconnect, give it a little bit of gas, and it should come right off. Then, grab the coupler cover that you can see, using the backup sensor as a visual cue. Fits right over there, and you're done. Didn't have to get under the car, didn't even have to use both hands. Speaking of exhaust, that's the whole purpose of this steel lead line, is so that even if you pull the hose off to the side, you're not going to get the rubber hose in the exhaust. You've got this steel hose there. And it's also got a little pressure gauge on the end so you can see where the tank is at once you connect it. The compressor is in the engine bay. It is ARB's maximum output twin unit strapped down into a C4 auxiliary battery tray. I couldn't find a mounting bracket for this compressor in this location, but it fit in the battery tray. So it's just strapped down nice and snug like you would an auxiliary battery. I also made a little shelf for a Blue Sea Systems fuse box that's powering the compressor and the rear battery because it was convenient in this location. Air comes out the back of the compressor through a protected hose and through the firewall right there. In the passenger footwell, you can catch a little glimpse of the green air hose in the back there as it goes down through the passenger footwell, through the running board, up the side there, and you still actually can't see it. But if we pull the seat, she's gonna, and drop the seat, you can see there is a little loop here. That's the air hose. Got some extra slack in there in case I ever need to change the length or cut out a section that got damaged. Then I'll have extra waiting for me to go. I won't have to rerun the whole thing. The compressor keeps the air tank between 150 and 135 psi. But why even have an air tank if all you're going to do is refill your tires? You can just hook a compressor right up to them. The answer is air tools. You need the air tank to have a little buffer of pressure to successfully run an air tool. Now I can take my tires off much more quickly, and the form factor of an air tool is smaller than the electric equivalent, meaning I've got more cargo space available when I'm carrying my tools around. Another thing you frequently do with air tools and air tanks is step the pressure down to a level the tool can handle. This air gun seems to run fine at the full 150 psi, and right now the tank is at about 140. But if it didn't run fine at a full 150, I did make an inline regulator you can stick in to step the pressure up or down to whatever is right for the tool at hand. So this is 100, crank it down. 90 is closer to typical for an air gun, I'm led to believe, and we could step it all the way down to a little 30 if we wanted, and then, oh, it doesn't even go at 30. Give it 60. Oh, it sounds so sad.